What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of South Stand Stories. And Leeds United get another win and another crushing victory en route to automatic promotion, baby. We're cruising up towards those top two places. Leicester dropping 3 points. Things are starting to happen, as Jermaine Genius once said. Unfortunately, Ipswich were able to win, but aside from that, it's been a pretty good weekend of football for Leeds United, and it was a very impressive victory in the sense that we controlled the game, in the sense that Plymouth really didn't have a sniff in the game, in the sense that Leeds looked very comfortable for about 85% of the match. To be honest with you, it was very, very comfortable. Very easy for Leeds to control the game. Very easy for Leeds to create chances. Now, in the fact that, to counteract that, the manner in which this was not an impressive victory was the fact that Leeds should have won this about 9, 10, 11-0 because Plymouth were awful. They were there for the taking. They were there to get absolutely ransacked. They were there for Leeds to stat pad against today. We should have had 9, 10, 11, 12 goals. We really should. We were so poor, so dismal in front of goal at times. Rutter missed like 3 or 4 sitters in that game. Somerville offside a couple of times, but still missed some huge chances, Somerville. And that's not like Somerville. That's not like Crisorcio Sauce Dog himself. Dan James, couple of big chances missed. And overall, just a really profligate performance from Leeds United. And Bamford wasn't even on the pitch, you know what I mean? And the reason why that's bad is because look at the last 10 minutes. Plymouth get one useless counter-attack and they score. Literally one poxy counter-attack and they've scored and they made it 2-1, and all of a sudden Leeds are under the cosh. All of a sudden Leeds are having to put 5 men at the back, bring Gruev in for Rutter and completely try and hold out for a 1-goal lead against a side that we should have been home and dry against within the first 45 minutes of the game. And that's the problem with Leeds, alright? Yes, we've won. Yes, it's another victory. Okay, we'll take the positives out of it. Of course, we're going to finish with the positives. We're going to start with the positives. Great. It's a positive result. It's a positive result in the fact that Leicester dropped points as well. Okay, brilliant. But we have to look at the long-term implications of this. The long-term implications of Leeds not being able to put teams away quick enough. Why can we not put teams away in the first half? Why can we not kill games off? Why do we have to wait until the final whistle, clinging on for 1-goal victories? This is our opportunity to really boost that goal difference and help us out come the latter stages of the season. You know? We saw it at the end of last season when we got relegated and how our goal difference really screwed us over in the fact that we needed everyone else to drop points. We couldn't stay anywhere near the same goals as them, the same points as them, because our goal difference was that much dramatically worse, and that really hampered us going into the last couple of games of the seasons, you know, confidence-wise. Listen, I'm happy. You're happy. I'm sure you are. We won. And there were a few impressive performances to talk about, especially coming from Perot and Daniel James. Listen, I've been one of Perot's biggest critics this year. I really have been. You know, I've criticised him as much as the next guy. We've had debates about it. Me and my dad have had debates about it. I haven't been a big fan of him in that role. I haven't thought that he suited the role very well. And I'm not 100% sold on it. But what I will say is that it's probably one of the best games I've seen for him in a Leeds United shirt. If I'm being honest with you, I think in the first half, he was very, very, very good. He was dropping deep. He was picking up the ball around. He was actually playing almost like a number 10 or a box-to-box midfielder. The way he was dropping deep, he was very involved in the link-up play. He had a lot of link-up play with Dan James. The 1-2s down that right-hand side of the pitch were phenomenal. His through balls that he was playing were actually very, very good. And he really looked like a bit of a changed man in that first half. I would say that he did drift off a little bit into the second half. He had that one opportunity where he made that run and Rutter dinked the through ball into him. Beautiful run, but unfortunately the finish not quite there. But he did get his goal, you know, as well in the first half. He did. Lovely little run down the left-hand side. And Somerville, so saucy, mate. Little shimmy. Plays the reverse pass back to him. Quality stuff. Leeds 2-0 to the good. So I would say that was one of Perot's best games. I still am not convinced about it because I just don't think it gets the best out of Rutter. Rutter was moving all over the gaff today, and that's not really his game. His game is not running off players, making no runs in behind. Rutter's game is picking the ball up from further deep, taking players on, spraying the ball to himself. You saw it. The second Perot makes a forward run, and Rutter's a bit deeper. What does he do? Bang! Pings a beautifully weighted chip-through ball. Honestly, one of the most sumptuous chip-through balls you'll see, straight into the path of Perot, and he unfortunately just dinked it over the bar. But yeah, I'm not 100% sold on it, but I would say that was probably the best performance I've seen from him this year. And if he keeps up like that, then maybe I can start to change my opinion on him. But listen, I never doubted the quality of the player. The only thing I ever questioned potentially was the fact that I don't know if he fits into this system. Damn, that is cutting up big. Anyway, as we were moving on to other impressive players, the other guy who really caught my attention on that same side, I just spoke about his link-up play with Perot, was Dan James. I thought Dan James was on fire in that first half, especially that first 25-30 minutes. Every single opportunity he got, he was running at them down that right-hand side, and he was getting a lot of joy. His pace in behind was frightening, and Plymouth couldn't deal with it, and that's another thing. You don't quite have as many physically capable players in the Championship. So when you've got a guy with an elite attribute like Dan James and his pace, and you use it in the Championship, that's why it works so well. That's why he plays so much better in the Championship, because you can abuse singular qualities that you have, because there aren't that many well-rounded defenders in the league like there are in the Premier League, where you'll get found out more. In the Championship, if you have an exceptional quality like his pace, you will find a lot of joy. It's as simple as that. And that is something that we need to utilize more out of Dan James. The same way we need to utilize Rutter's ability in the middle. We need to utilize unleashing Dan James a little bit more down that right-hand side. And actually, his crossing ability today was improved. There was one time where I think he put a bit of a dodgy wayward cross in when there was an easy cutback over to Somerville. But aside from that, he was playing some beautiful crosses in there, perfectly weighted crosses to the back sticks, and there's a lot more decision-making in his play now, which is better. Before, he used to just hit and hope cross, but now there's a lot better decision-making, and I've been mightily impressed with Dan James. I have personally myself. And the other impressive performance, I'd have to say, of course, again, was Crescencio Sourceville III. It's a toss-up for me between Dan James and Somerville for man of the match. I'd have to say, because Somerville was better in the second half. Maybe throughout the entire game, I think he did just perform slightly better. But then again, first half, I was very impressed with Dan James. It's a tough one for me. I might have to just edge it towards Somerville again. But maybe that's a bit of a bias, because I love both guys. But, I don't know. Somerville is just different quality, man. He is different level. I don't think it was one of Rutter's best games, so I can't really throw his name in the hat today. But I still thought he was comparable, and I thought he was good. But I just don't think it worked with him in that position that he was playing in. I think he needs to be in more of a stable position, and a little bit deeper, personally. But let me know what you guys thought about the performance anyway. I thought it was an impressive performance. I thought it was a very good performance. I thought it was a performance in which Leeds showed a lot of control. We showed a lot of composure. We showed the ability to bide our time very well. But what I do also think is we need to learn to put the ball in the back of the net more. Is that a personnel change, you think? Is that a tactic change you think is needed? Let me know what you guys think could be the solution to our profligate nature. But anyway, guys, let me know what you thought about the performance and the result down in the comment section down below. But for now, guys, I will see you very, very soon. Au revoir, my brothers and my sisters.